Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kevin Deanda. It's our first episode of Conscious Barbecue. I'm gonna show you how to do St. Louis style ribs. We're gonna do a 3-2-1 method on the UDS. We have to take off the membrane. We're gonna hit it with olive oil, SPG. We're gonna do Famous Dave's rib rub. This episode is gonna be basically Famous Dave's. And then when it hits the 3-hour mark, we're gonna pull it out. We're gonna put some butter with brown sugar, drizzle some maple syrup on top, put it back into the smoker. And then when it finishes out, right before it's almost done, we're gonna hit it off with Famous Dave's barbecue sauce, wrap it, put it back in there, and let it glaze for like 30 more minutes, and then we'll be able to slice it in once it's done. Let's get started. All right, so to get started, we're gonna get the pit lit. We're gonna be smoking on our UDS, the Conscious Barbecue. I built these smokers, so if you live in LA County and you're interested, I'll put the information in the description below. A unit like this sells for about $450, but they start at $300. But yeah, without further ado, we're gonna pull out the charcoal basket, fill it up, get it lit, bring the temp up. Once it hits 250, then the ribs will be ready and we'll be ready to start smoking. So now that we got our charcoal basket filled with some charcoal, what I want to do is fill up the chimney about half full. I want to get these charcoals lit, and then we'll put them on top of our charcoal basket, and that'll get everything running. What we're going to use the Weber wax cubes. Start off this chimney. And in a few minutes, that should be ready to go. So now that we have the chimney going, gives us perfect time to prep these ribs. So what we're gonna do first is, want to get rid of this membrane. Go with a butter knife, right? You want to loosen one end. Get yourself some paper towels. Just want to pinch it. Should all come off. That's all she wrote. So now that we have that off, I want to go ahead and drizzle some olive oil, nice thin layer. Basically just to bond all that seasoning onto it. I want to hit it with some SPG. I want to get everything. I'm gonna top it off with Famous Dave's rib rub. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Hit it with some olive oil. Now we wait. Now we just gotta wait for the charcoals to be ready. Get the charcoals in there into the smoker and bring it up to temp 250 degrees and they'll be ready to cook. So now that our charcoals are ready to light up this charcoal basket. So now that we have our charcoal in the charcoal basket ready, we're gonna hit it off with some hickory chunks right here. Put our grate in. Open up the valves. We're gonna open them all the way. Just bring this smoker up to temp. Now that we have our smoker up to temp, we're ready to put the ribs in. So they've been sitting. They got that nice color right there. Put them in the center. Close the lid. Let that magic happen. In a few hours, we'll be able to pull them out and wrap them in foil with that butter, maple syrup, and brown sugar. Put them back in there, then pull them out in a couple hours, and then drizzle on with that famous Dave's barbecue sauce. All right, so it's been about 3 hours already, and if you can see the color that these ribs are getting, that's letting me know that they're ready to get wrapped. It's like that beautiful mahogany color. So we're gonna pull them out and we're gonna lay them over here. You can see I got some butter with maple syrup and brown sugar sprinkled on top. And we're gonna do the same thing on the back side of it. The meat part down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put the butter on the back side. Sprinkle some brown sugar. And we're gonna drizzle some more maple syrup. Gonna flip them over. This is the way we're gonna put them back in the smoker. Close the lid. And we'll resume cooking for about 2 hours. And then we'll check on them after that. All right, so it's been 2 hours since we wrapped, put them back in the smoker. So now it's time to pull them out and we're gonna glaze them with some barbecue sauce. One thing I want to mention is on the last scene, I didn't double wrap, but I noticed that right when we cut the scene. So remember, always double wrap. The last thing you want is your juices to fall in there. You want to capture them. All right, so now we have our ribs on the cutting board. I'm just gonna open it up a bit and glaze the other side of the ribs. Look at that. Beautiful color. You can see the bones barely peeking out right there, but it look good though. Oh yeah, they're ready to fall apart. They're tender. Just the way I do it. All right, now it's time to put them back in the smoker, back in the pit. Then I'll finish off for about 30 minutes, get a nice glaze. We should be good. All right, so it's been 30 minutes since we glazed the ribs. Now we're gonna take them out. And they're ready to go to the cutting board. You see how the barbecue sauce glazed on top nicely. Oh, the neighbor's got a little get together right now, so it sounds like it's cracking over the fence. All right, so now we're gonna flip them over. We're gonna start cutting these up. The reason why we flip them over is so we can see where the bones are going, so we can get those right cuts. So now you can see that the ribs have been cut up. Got that nice little glaze on top. It's like extra tender right there, man. A little too tender for me, but I know that the ladies like it. My wife especially. Look at that. Juicy. Take a bite of this one. Conscious Barbecue approved. After taking a bite and devouring that first rib, you can taste that subtleness of that hickory smoke, and that maple syrup with that brown sugar really brings it together with that famous Dave's barbecue sauce at the end. I'm gonna tell you, it's not overpowering, because the last thing you want to do is apply too much barbecue sauce. Just a thin layer. And I mean, that thin layer goes a long way. That right there is a beautiful rib. Your family's gonna enjoy.